When you did go into service, when you enlisted, how old were you?
22.
Okay.
Not quite 22.
And when you left the service and you went into when you went from civilian life to military life, that was probably a big transition? What do you feel about that?
Well, yes, I went from Columbus to San Antonio into a lot more structured life than I'd been having before.
And what do you remember about the training?
They were hard up for pilots. And when I went in, it was for pilot training, and they were hard up for pilots. And we actually skipped basic training and went directly to primary flying school. And and there I turned the plane upside down, and they decided that I wasn't suitable for a pilot.
Uh, when you went into when you were over in England, how did you get over there?
We flew over commercial airlines, flew us over.
Okay, and how did you get back from?
To get back from England, we came back by the Queen Mary.
Okay, and you're over in England. You're flying over Germany. When you were bombing these cities, did you know where the enemy was? If they're like the fighters, or were you just doing your job and?
We just went along and hoped that our fighter escorts knew where they were and kept them away, which in the early parts of our flights, our fighter escorts would have to drop off before we got to the pod, to the target, because they didn't have the range to go out in. But later in the war, they were able to go with us all the way. And so when you get over the target, you were on your own as far as fighting on an aircraft, and you tried to keep out of the heavy gunfire from the ground that had aircraft batteries as much as possible.
And the flak that would come up. Were you ever in a bomber that was ever hit pretty hard?
Um, Several times we were hit, but our worst one was coming back from a mission to Koblenz that brought us out over the Rhine River, and we had 134 holes in the airship when we came back that time.
And when you were up in the plane, there's obviously a lot of chaos going on up there, and your objective was to fly over these target zones. Did you ever like? What was it like when you were just about to take off and getting ready for that?
Well, you had your preparation, you checked out your radio, and the other members of the crew checked out the items that they were responsible for, see that they were all operating, and then you just sweat out whether you're going to get off the ground with your loaded bombs or not.
And you obviously didn't see the Germans up close, but you fought against them. What do you feel about them? Did you see them as the bad guys, or did you see them as other people that
Well,
you had to fight
they
against?
were the bad guys because they were bombing London at the time, and bombing parts of Europe, and of course they were. This time they were having their battles along the coast where the ground troops had gone in, so we felt they were the bad guys.
Now, did you ride home often?
Probably once a month.
When you wrote those letters, did you tell everybody about your experience, or did you just try and keep it
Well,
pretty much?
especially you couldn't write anything like that because of censorship. Your letters were all censored when they went out.
You ever get homesick over there?
Some, always. Not too much.
When you do get home after the war, did you be able to put it behind you pretty completely and just go along,
Oh, yes,
go along with
because
your
I
life?
went right into college. Got out in November and started college in January, so it was a quick changeover from one life to the other.
What parts of the war stayed with you? Any experience over there?
Well, probably the flights over the Himalayas, and when I was flying C-106 or 109s, and the trips over Germany and with the bombers. Those are the things you remembered. And various trips that you made, where you went, and things that happened on those trips.
What do you think we, as a society, need to remember about World War II?
Well, I think they need to remember that it doesn't take too much to start the war if you've got a person like Hitler that was able to get the German people involved in his way of thinking, and which was definitely against society.
Mm-hmm. You feel anything about the Japanese either, even though you didn't serve in that?
Japanese, of course, after they pulled Pearl Harbor in their sneaky way, why they were definitely a big enemy, and you hated them.